Welcome back, Mr. Guillaume. How are you?
Doing very good. How about you?
Very good. We've been talking about this block for a while, but it is the first time that it is available to everybody, and the block has improved significantly since we've showed it to everyone last. So, for this live stream today, let's get into the vibe coding block, which we just launched yesterday, and show all or some of the magic that you could do with it.
Yeah, I think we cannot show all the magic because I think it's a muscle we will build to really expand our imagination, but also like to solve real use cases. And I think the community will be also sharing a lot of good use cases that can inspire others. So it will be just a kickoff, and from there we'll see a lot of magic happening.
Yeah, I think the thing that I've already seen with this block across our community is people that have had problems of like, oh, I wish this block could do this, or I wish I could just change this. Now with the vibe coding block, they're able to just do that themselves. And that is really awesome because that means you don't have to wait for our engineers anymore. You could just go out there and you have the tools with Softr to do what you need. And so we have our pre-built blocks, right? These are already pre-built. You don't really need to rebuild a calendar component, right? So we've built that for you and all the features and everything. But for that very specific customized block or that thing that you need for your brand or whatever, vibe coding block, enter, here we go. Time for the main stage. So I got a couple examples that I want to show on my side of what could be built with the vibe coding block. And then we're going to get into building a couple things.
Yeah.
On my side, G, I want to build graphs that allow users to adjust the filters of the graph.
Yeah.
All right.
That's yeah. There are many options that we can add to charts, and yeah, that one is interesting.
And you know, this is just one of those ones where a lot of users have requested it, and we're working to get there natively, but we're not there yet. And so in the meantime, maybe the vibe coding block can help us out.
Yeah.
G, what do you want to show on your side?
There is one very requested feature, which is the user-to-user chats that will be unlocked with this block. I think it probably needs a bit of setup and engineering, and I was preparing that a little bit. But that one is interesting, and we'll be able to explore maybe how we can use like workflows for now, webhooks. And maybe some more use cases that we can uncover live.
Interesting. Yeah, that's definitely one of those ones that people have been asking for, user-to-user chat. It's a difficult one too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, on my screen here, sorry, my streaming window got a little messed up, but that's just fine. On my screen here, I have let's see, bring this back up. I have this really cool dashboard. And if I load the page here, you'll see all these animations happening, right? And I think there's a couple of really cool things here. People need to build cool dashboards. We have some really big clients building really big executive dashboards for very, very big companies. And they want it to look cool, sleek, have those little animations and everything. This is a great way that you could feed it your data from your data source. Use conditional filters to make sure it's only filtering the data related to the logged in user and actually put something together really well. I literally said, hey, vibe coding block, make me an executive dashboard. Here's the data source. And then it found all of its own unique data points and created this dashboard for me. That's all I did, right? And then we can see here, it comes down very nicely on mobile as well. Everything is just ready to go. And it is a beaut on desktop and mobile. So this one was really fun. And I really like the way they came out. You know, you could add some dark mode sliders in here and whatnot. Really cool.
Yeah, you know, it just made me think of another use case we'll be able to build later. Clicking on the chart to see the underlying records. I think that this is now possible and can be very useful to just get quick insights. And you're like, oh, we had a peak in, I don't know, signups. And you would click and see the breakdown by sources, for example, to just quickly investigate a data point that you see. That
Yeah,
one,
that's a
that
good
one would
idea.
be possible as well.
Yeah, very good idea. Another one I got on my side is, let me share this tab instead. Let's see here. Boom. Another one I got is the knowledge assistant. So this, and you've built something like this. I would love to see what you built after your version of it, if you could pull that up after this.
Yeah.
But this is another one of those easy knowledge, like AI builds. I mean, it's not easy, but it's like, hey, I have this library of customer service questions that I've already answered. Why don't we use it as a data source and build up our own kind of chatbot on a page? You embed it somewhere, whatever. You could use it in many different ways, and then you can start going to work. And so this is functional in the sense, like it's running, it's up and running. Now, the cool thing is you've taken this next level, and it's not like the way that you did it in a workflow standpoint. You know, I know it's not fully, it's not fully Softr yet, but it will be soon. Is that it?
Yeah.
Do you want to pull it up?
Happy to show that just the results, so we get an idea of what we have. Just sharing my screen now. All right, you can now ping my screen, and yeah, what I've built is, I mean, exactly that. Something that will come in the next days or next weeks to improve this vibe coding block is this famous CRUD actions. So to create, so read is like right now it reads the data that's in your table that you have selected.
Yep.
But soon we will also be able to have the typical actions that you have in Softr. So create a record, edit a record, delete a record, or even bulk edit records. If you have a table and you want to, edit multiple rows at once to change the status of multiple tasks at once, that will be also something that will be possible. So right now I had to build some workarounds to make this sort of ChatGPT version that uses my own API key for AI. That way I don't have to pay 20 per user per month to get access to ChatGPT, because I rebuilt ChatGPT as the interface, and then they have this API product, but you could also use other models. So you get this AI assistant that will respond to your queries, but also work with the previous messages. So if I say the code is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I ask what's the code, it will remember it. So I had in my workflow to
very cool
to create some memory.
Thanks for letting me know what the code is.
Yeah.
Nice.
And here I've also built a little model picker. So for small, it's like the new Mistral model that they've released this week. Large is, I think, GPT-5. Medium is Gemini 2.5
Nice.
Flash. So I could really customize, my own interface and my own backend workflows.
You had too much fun with this. This is very impressive. So quickly, let's talk about, because we've already discussed you could do this in AI, but how are you able to get the blocks to send the data and to bring it back like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So because this is a private app that I'll be using, I could just ask the block to send these messages to an API endpoint that I have created. So you can do that with Softr workflows or with other workflow builders. To basically, whenever I hit send, it would send an API call, so a webhook to the endpoint that I've set up, that is then programmed to then add this message to the database alongside with the response, which means that if I now reload this block, it will sync to the database to find all the previous messages. So right now it's a mix of caching a bit of the instant message I'm sending here, and pulling the records that are already stored in the database.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff. I have a quick question here. I've already answered it, but I'll just answer it again live. So when is Ask AI coming to Airtable? And then should we just use a vibe coding block to bridge that gap until it is on Airtable with the AI chatbot. Ask AI is coming to Airtable super soon. It feels like it's any day now. Maybe it's next week or the week after, but from what I'm seeing in engineering, it feels like it's just about any day now. And I would wait for that block because it's so easy and so good and already so polished, rather than doing it yourself with the vibe coding block. You can, if you need it right away, as G just showed you, like what's possible. It's just gonna be a little bit harder for you to do that, and you'll have to do some more work. But the Ask AI block, it's beautiful, and it'll be available hopefully very soon for Airtable.
And I would also add that Ask AI has a very specific technology that is, running this AI power and works beautifully, even though you have maybe 1,000 records in the table that you're currently querying. So we use advanced orchestration technology that actually make this feature excellent out of the box with very easy configuration. So I do recommend use Ask AI before trying to build your own custom system that will be really tricky to put together and to make efficient, because we are also using orchestration that makes it very efficient and fast and reliable. So it's my now that the vibe coding block is out, I'm not sure anymore, but Ask AI is one of my favorite features.
Agreed. Really cool stuff. Oh, let me grab the preview of this block. So this one was a fun one that I built. It was a calculator for an insurance company. So for example, let's say they need some kind of different coverage and to find out what a premium could be. You could connect it to, like your rates, etc. And then from there, you can have the user go in, enter the information that they're looking for, select certain things, and then see certain plans. Right. So really easy to add this into a portal that you might be creating for an agency that you own, or some kind of homeowner's dashboard for a cost to replace something or whatever. So again, the interaction that we're finding with the vibe coding block goes really deep, and is really special in that way. So there's so many things that we've already created or have been created or seen that are being created. And these are just some of the examples that we wanted to show you today. But why don't we get into our first demonstration, which is building the user charts with user-defined filters.
Yep.
Do you have anything on your side that you could pull up, G?
I can prepare maybe for just later charts where you can click a part of the chart to see what's under there. Building that on the ERP template that we have. So
gotcha. I got your screen live now.
I mean, then we can build it live. So we have this app, this template that is an ERP template, and we have a page for all the departments or the main activities of our company. So sales, the orders, the HR, the expenses, and maybe on the finance side, we have already these charts that are our native.
Yeah, just grab one of those data sources quick. Let's just see what that data source is. So it's ERP by Softr, orders. Cool.
Yeah, you mean that's the underlying database. So we see the different orders, expenses, and it could be interesting to show.
Let's do the expenses, and then we filter the graph by the expense type.
Yeah. So I'm actually here. We already have quite a layout, and I will be adding maybe just right here at the top this new vibe coding block that you can probably also find if you type AI or vibe coding. And I will
quickly go through the 4 tabs before we get it, while we go into this as well.
Yeah. So we could be jumping right in and asking for a specific block, typing it here. But what is making it powerful is that you can connect to your data source. So we can also have all these settings in the source tab here, which means that you will natively connect this block that we're about to create to a certain table of my data source that's connected to this app. And here we talked about expenses. So that's where I will be able to just select expenses, and then when I will chat to ask for a specific block, it will directly, look at the structure of this table to build the actual block that fits this data. We can also natively add filters. For example, I could add a filter here. Maybe the user is the logged in user email, so it would be automatically filtered on myself, like my expenses.
Or whatever the logged in user is, that the data would change based on that logged in user in that sense.
Super useful if for example, you want one version of your block that is global and one that is called like my expenses, tracking my expenses. That would be super useful. In our case, let's start with all expenses to have maybe a chart that would be reflecting all the expenses. We have a tab for content, and actually this will be useful later. That's where we will find all the previous versions of the code that has been generated, and we can easily manage those. For example, restore a version that you preferred. If you maybe ask for something that you're not sure about anymore, you could restore a previous version of the code. And then the visibility settings, that's where for any other, it's the same for any blocks in Softr. You can define who can see and access these blocks. So is it visitors, so public non-logged in users, or logged in users, but actually a specific group, so just the admins, and that's where you will be able to set that. Or actually, I rarely do that, but you can also go and say, okay, this block is only visible for mobile, if that's something that you want. Right now, let's just keep it open like this. And we can start to ask for a specific prompt with natural language. So let's do it quite classic to get started. A chart to... So I'll be looking at the database just to see what we have. So we have a date, and that will be interesting, and an amount. So to track months over months expenses, broken down by category. You can make mistakes. It won't mind. Yeah, we have categories of expenses amounts. When I click section, it will expand in modal to show underlying expenses. Show the last 3 months based on today's. So we asked something like we already had a good idea of what we wanted. Okay, I'm maybe the CFO, finance manager. I know I want to see the past 3 months of expenses based on the amount broken down by categories, and then whenever needed, I can click on a specific part of the chart to see, okay, what are the expenses? If I see maybe something that seems irregular, I can just click, see that it's actually all fine, and have the insights I want very, very quickly.
Yeah, creating graphs for me was always very difficult. Finding out the X and the Y and the way that you want to aggregate it and all that kind of stuff. Like I was always like, how do I do this? So just being able to like plain text, this is the kind of chart I'm looking for, really simplifies the process significantly. Interesting with our brand colors here. Is our brand colors black in the application?
No, it's something we'll be improving the native colors framework for the
different expenses. Yeah, we might even need to pull in the color in the database for user-defined colors.
Yeah. And whenever we're ready, we'll be able to hit preview.
We also need to add the user filters for the users to be able to filter. And then so what we could do there is maybe have a date range that the user could filter by. I mean, we have only showing 3 months here, so maybe that's not applicable. And then also the user can add like filter by just expenses.
By date range, by maybe category.
Yeah, just those two, I think.
And looking at it, and maybe by Yeah, let's the
Team
date range
view.
is a nice one.
Yeah.
Expenses. All right, we're missing the breakdown.
Got a question here from LinkedIn user. You should allow us to be able to edit the code. So we are. It's just a work in progress. So,
Yeah.
G, if you can just go to the content tab real quick.
Yeah.
When you're ready, you'll see that you have history versions in there, and you could see the code.
Yeah.
Next, and then you could copy the code, and then you could roll back to different versions. So, for example, let's say we asked it to do an iteration. The iteration we just didn't like. We could roll back to the previous version and then try it again. So that's really helpful. We will soon allow you to edit this code as well, which is really exciting too. So we're getting there. It's just so new, we're not there yet.
Yeah, and I think that's having that level of control and clarity over the different versions is really useful. Also, for those that are maybe more technical, can understand maybe something they would like to change by maybe understanding the code. It allows great flexibility. Or just I asked for the breakdown to appear. Meanwhile, we can go in the preview and see here the latest version. And I actually had for the 3 tabs in there, you have to log in as an admin to see the tab that contains the dashboard exactly.
Gotcha.
And I'll just reload that. Let's see what we got. Okay, it's still preparing the next version. All right.
Nice.
I'll hit preview again. It's curious that we don't see our
that's strange.
Charts, but they appear here in the preview. Oh, we also got a category breakdown. Okay. We can be make sure touch.
I think it's an internet thing. I haven't seen this on my side.
Yeah, this is the first time. It could be this Cloudflare
outage that we're seeing.
Yeah. Because it has in the past always.
It's weird that we're seeing it. We see it in studio, but not preview in that sense.
Yeah. Today is one of those days where internet is
hard.
It's hard.
Try to just duplicate the block and see if that loads in preview. I don't know.
Yeah. Wait a couple seconds for it to...
The demo. The demo curse.
Yeah. No, we're having the same result.
Are you getting loading on the other blocks? The data, data is coming in on the other blocks. Okay. Got it.
Actually, there's a new version that I'll just refresh that. It seems like we had a... Oh,
look at that. Yeah. Build anything for free. No AI credits needed at the moment as this block, comes into the world and is tested out.
Yeah. All right, that's... I don't know if we can jump to another use case.
Let's answer this question quick. Hey guys, I played with it last night and started to get I ran into a trouble message. I refreshed the page and in chat it was updated, but the code was never changed. So I have seen this myself too. I think this is just a small bug that we're dealing with, and I'm sure we'll get it fixed with any moment. With that being said, I think a workaround to get past this that I've seen, at least, I don't know about you, G, but I normally will duplicate the block in that sense, and then just in the new version of the block, just type that prompt, and that usually self-fixes itself. Another thing that you could do is create an entirely new block, grab the code from your other block, and just say, hey, create this block again, and it maybe refreshes the cache or the build that's happening there and gets past that error. So a couple different ways to tackle that. Gee, have you seen anything else on your side?
No, yeah, that would be it. In the first days of releasing the block, where as we just saw, the design has been just improved as we spoke. So we're improving it very fast, and
yeah,
all these minor things will be solved.
And I think it's also one of those things where we're viewing the history of all this stuff coming in and like the errors and etc. and just seeing those errors and being able to iterate it very quickly too to make sure it doesn't happen. Got another one here. Can the Vibe AI coding block add features to the header or footer blocks, or would we use it to create its own footer for the formats we need? So we can't. The AI block is its own block. It can't adjust your existing blocks. If you need to adjust your existing blocks, that's where custom code comes in. But I would avoid using custom code in our nav and our footer. Those blocks are really great. If you need to, I would say use the Vibe coding block for your own nav or footer. But the nav and the footer, the footer is easy, but the nav, like the top nav, there's so much logic that goes into that I would avoid creating that, because we spent a lot of time creating that block for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I wanted to quickly see, so if we could display, for example, our products, in these nice interfaces where you can swipe left or right just to visualize in a very visual, interactive way. To skip. Let's see what we can get in the meantime. Maybe JJ, I'm curious to hear about the when do you think you'll be using this vibe coding block versus the standard native blocks? What will be your way of thinking when it comes to okay, what block do I need right now for the different use cases?
So me personally, I'm a little bit different because I'm more of an advanced builder, right? And I know exactly what I'm looking for. But the beautiful thing about this vibe coding block is, and the blocks that we already have available, is you could figure out what you need in the moment, and it differs for the user. So if you're a new, like a beginner user, I would say stick with the blocks we've already built for you, because those blocks already follow best practices. They're already built in a way that's, following popular designs and making it really easy. And then as you grow a little bit, or you just have that custom need, then add in a vibe coding block. I'm at the moment personally where I'm using the majority of my app as vibe coding blocks now, because I know exactly what I want, and I really like building in that way. So it just depends on where you're at. But the cool thing is you have the option now. And so no matter how standard or customized your app needs to be, this block introduces a lot of flexibility that is really awesome for the builder.
Yeah, I would say whenever you need, whenever you need these classic blocks for maybe that work for 90% of the blocks you need for business apps, which are tables, Kanban, calendar, list, details of a record, I'm definitely going for the native blocks, because they don't need to be reinvented. But whenever I need that extra customization for something, for example, visualizing, a progress bar, something like that, then I would go for a vibe coding block. But it would really be 5-10% of my apps. For example, here, if you want your clients to easily see the catalog of all your products, you could have a block like that. I mean, we just
a quick thing, but cool interactions there. And you can add swipe emotions and other things to add that. I got a quick question here. Can the block connect with multiple sources and webhooks? Really good question. Right now, no, but it's very early. We just released it. There are a lot of plans for this block. The next thing that one of the next things that we're looking at doing is allowing you to connect it to a REST API data source, very easily, so you can bring in additional data sources as well. Multiple sources. I don't think we've gotten there yet in our discussions. Have you seen that, G?
Not yet, and we'll collect more, use cases and ideas to confirm what direction to go for.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right now it's focused on one table from your data source.
Yeah.
I could see use cases where you would want to merge maybe two tables to see both your products and your sales data because they're connected.
Yeah.
We'll be looking into that in the next weeks and months to see how to evolve. Yeah.
Yeah, I think another call out here about a current limitation that we're working to improve is that right now linked data for those tables, like the main data will show up, but the nested data within that linked data won't, right? And so if you need, additional nesting data, that's what you need to, at the moment, use lookup fields to bring that data onto the main table to give that access to vibe coding block, as vibe coding block data source just doesn't dive into the nested data for each linked record yet and bring that back.
Yeah. I was here. I was here trying to cook something. Here we're sending
during the live stream. Brave man.
Yeah. That's interesting. So here I was looking into a webhook. So I created a new workflow in Softr workflows that starts with a webhook, which gives me a URL to send the data to. And I gave this URL to the vibe coding block. And I said, all right, whenever a new message is being sent, send that payload to the webhook. And we see here the timestamp, the sender email, the recipient email, etc.
Nice.
So we are able now. Yep.
Sorry. For those that don't know what a webhook is, this is essentially a way for, Softr's vibe coding block. It has information that you're sending it. And then that information, if we want to actually send it to the database, by creating a webhook, you're essentially creating a public URL, or a URL that the vibe coding block can send data to. And then that webhook can receive that data. And now in Softr workflows, take actions with that data. Right. And so we're connecting vibe coding block to Softr workflows together to allow you to create some kind of CRUD functionality, create, read, update, delete. And we could do a lot of things with it. And so that's kind of what G's getting into here.
Yeah. And hope this will all be made easier once the CRUD are directly embedded into the capacities of the vibe coding block. But there might still be occasions where you would want to actually pass some data to a webhook. For example, I was thinking about an interface where you can drop a CSV into your vibe coding block, and the vibe coding block would parse the CSV into a JSON, which is more like a text that can then be sent to the webhook, which would then bulk create records.
You are a very creative man. The way that you're thinking about this vibe coding block and all the different things with it, there's a lot of really good use cases you brought up that I haven't thought about yet. But yeah, I mean, it's the beauty of a block like this in a structured and supported environment like Softr. It really brings the two together and just adds so much flexibility.
Yeah, so I'll be working on some flows. Maybe we'll be able to release any as a template or share some content about
show us what you're doing right here, because this is an important step of connecting the two together. Talk about that test data that you're sending and in order to initialize this webhook.
So when you add a webhook, it gives you right away a URL that is almost like a phone number. Whenever someone will call this phone number and say some specific words, so give some data, it will activate. It will start this workflow, and we'll be able in the workflow to reuse the data that has been sent. So what you said on the phone, if we can make this comparison. And here I have told my vibe coding block in the beginning. We can see the conversation that we had. To actually, I gave some freedom, but I said, okay, whenever you send a message, send all the information to this URL, and I pasted it.
And you specified what kind of transaction it was. In this case, it was a post. So we're sending data. It's not like a get, a delete, or put, or anything like that, which is, yeah.
And it was smart enough to already send the data I'll need. So message, timestamp, send an email, recipient, and that one I won't need. So I can then map in here in the next step. This is my way to create a record, and for me it means logging a new message. And here I could map, for example, the recipient is from the webhook, the recipient here, so JJ, your email. So now if I reload that, now we have both messages here that show up, which means it has been sent and stored. I'll be able to send you maybe to privately send you this link, so you can log in and try to send a message yourself.
Oh, we're gonna do this.
We're gonna do this.
Yeah. How is it gonna know who I am? I don't think it's gotten there yet.
Because you're logged in, and I added there is a way for the code to know your email as a logged in user.
Okay.
So it should know.
All right. So
open that link. And while you're doing that, I can go in the workflow, and that's what we saw. So that's the way to see all the executions, all the runs of your workflow, so you can, better understand how they work, like maybe debug or look at the logs. It's always super useful. And we see one that just came in, so I guess you sent something. But yeah, that's the way in our workflows that you could, look into what happened for this workflow. So if I go here, that's amazing. This might be the first time we have a Softr native system to have a peer chat.
It needs a little bit of work to get the refreshing. As you see, like this, you send the message and it doesn't refresh it yet. Could we add that in Softr workflows? No, not yet.
No, but we could also tell our interface to keep the cache of the message I just sent. So it would directly appear here. That's what I had in my
but then if I send a message back, that won't come. So maybe you create a prompt to tell it to like refresh the page after you send.
Yeah, we'll be also allowing our blog to do that. I asked earlier, and we don't have that yet to determine when to refresh. But for example, here we could say to refresh, let's say half a second after a message is being sent, you refresh the data, so your message logs.
Try it. Just add it to the prompt. Let's try it. We're there.
I think it doesn't have access yet to the frequency of data refreshing. I asked the team earlier, but it will be added soon. And I mean the CRUD will solve that, because it will directly add the data without going through the webhook, so it will be all more instant. And it is already very useful for, imagine an agency who's corresponding with a client. The messages don't have to be instant, because they're maybe checking that at different time zones, and it can maybe replace a bit of email to have more direct chats.
So we got a question here. You mentioned Vibe coding block is unable to edit any other block than itself. However, would it be able to duplicate a current block, in essence, the new one, making it a Vibe block? So I think you're saying, can I take a native block and then start vibing on top of that native block? The answer right now is no. It's a cool idea to be able to remix one of our current blocks, but the answer right now is no. But what you can do is, given instructions that are similar to our native block that you want to do, have it create that block and then add customizations on top of there. So there's a workaround. I think with this block, it introduces a million possibilities for workarounds, because so much flexibility is there. But the short answer is no at the moment. a really cool idea for remixing, though.
And I mean, we've had users in the past using our custom code block for many years, actually. And this was the vibe coding block, but where you had to provide your own code working with HTML. And some users were using that to maybe add some CSS to a page to style, to have some custom stylings. And there can be ways you could actually leverage the vibe code block to modify the appearance of another blocks. Feel free to play around with that. And yeah, we've always been, I think, impressed by the creativity of some community members and users.
For sure. Can we go back to that chart block? I know this is a risk, but can we go back to see if that is working yet? Because we led with that in the call, so I don't want to leave us hanging too much there. And it's weird that we lost it, but let's see if we get anything here before we sign off.
Oh yeah.
What the heck? Is there kind of, are we running into visibility stuff or conditional filters? Like, does a user have access?
Yeah.
Is there like a global rule set up, like in like restrictions? I don't know. It's weird. I haven't seen that happen before.
No. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you see in the studio, it's there, and it's definitely possible. We've done it already. So now, there's a lot of people in the forum saying, hey, I would like to have a custom chart and have user-defined filters in that. You could do it. Not sure why we run into a problem here, but there's a lot of different ways you can use this block. As you've seen, we've created chatbots. We have created card sliders. We've created executive dashboards. We've created one-to-one messaging. It's really cool. It's really cool. And we are continuing to launch a ton of stuff with this block. We have a dedicated team for it, and it's going to make some really awesome progress in the coming weeks and if not months. And then this is kind of just a part of a whole wave of AI that we're continuing to bring into Softr into the new year. And things are just getting really exciting. So appreciate you all for hanging in there with us on this live stream, our Friday morning Softr live sessions. I hope this was really helpful for you. As always, we love your feedback. If you have questions or suggestions for what kind of a live stream we should do next, let us know. If you have questions about what we did here and how we did it, let us know. You could comment on the video wherever it's posted in many different places. Message us in one of our Slack communities or online forum. And G, anything else before we get out of here?
Just that I'm really curious to see how the community will take this. That's a good one. I just created a preview. All the use case that will come up. One that I think about is, when you want to dynamically show different aspects, for example, a warning when the stock is below a certain threshold, which was what I was working on. You could have that dynamically being showcased instead of having to create multiple blocks with conditions and add fields to your database. I have started for my own apps to use such logics, and you say, okay, look at this field, like the field status. If the status is XYZ, then check the number field to see if it's enough. For example, for an event registration, you could say only 24 seats available, be fast, and close the registrations, if it's
so you're saying that you can almost have like an alert system set up that's natively invisible, but it's reading data, and per that user that's logged in, if that user hits or the data hits one of those thresholds of like, hey, there's 20 seats left, then show this block of 20 seats left. But if there are more than whatever seat, it doesn't show, kind of thing.
Cool. And more than it doesn't show, it actually shows the right information, the right message, and I think that can be for example, I've just I don't know if you want to pull the screen again. We have one here where I just said, like, look at the number of items in stock. I've just asked for some better padding, but here it has understood that there is such a threshold, and if I look at one that is more healthy, we have another message. So really think about those creative ways. to have some
Yeah.
sharing to
That's
bring
a
your bring some more dynamism to your interfaces, but also make them more intuitive and easy to understand.
Yeah, I'll leave you all with one challenge. If there was ever something that was like, I wish we could do this in Softr, go try and see if you could do it now with the vibe coding block. Let us know how that goes. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with the results. Otherwise, that's it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you around, including next Friday at our next live stream. See you then.
Amazing. Bye, everyone.